Evening, everyone. Welcome to the Board of Selectmen meeting for August 31st, 2023. The time is 6 p.m. And can I please have everybody stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody. Okay, first thing on the agenda is discussion and possible vote on which of the following departments will keep the designation as special municipal employees. That would be plumbing and gas inspector, fire department members, and election workers, election officials. Should be election workers, right?
But that's what it was on the original paperwork.
Okay. So last week we voted on discontinuing most of the departments that were on the list for special municipal employees. There's just real no need for it to have that status in those positions. There were a few that we still had some questions on, and Mr. Ferrari, you were going to follow up with legal on that and get an opinion from them. Did you?
Yes, so I did speak to Jeff Blake, and Jeff had indicated to me that, again, it's totally discretionary, up to the board. He referred to the first opinion that he had given to us last week. And I had a discussion with the fire chief and with the town clerk with regards to, on-call people versus full-time people. Obviously, full-time people wouldn't qualify for special municipal employee status. On-call people would be discretionary. If, for example, an on-call person has a potential conflict of interest or potentially a financial interest in a town matter, I would highly recommend that person call the State Ethics Commission, ask to speak to the lawyer of the day, describe their potential conflict, and to get their opinion as to whether or not they could have to file additional financial disclosures or possibly end that particular conflict, whatever that might be. So there's two sides here to this scenario. It's not just special municipal employee status that gives people the right to do these things. There's also 268A conflict of interest financial disclosures that would also have to be followed as well on some of these potential conflicts, financially implications here. So it's up to the board's purview to do on-call if they feel that it's warranted. Cannot do full-time employees. Election officials, when I spoke to the town clerk, I specifically asked, is there any employee any election official that works these elections that is a full-time or a part-time employee with the town? She didn't think that there was a full-time employee. So again, that would limit her to, if the special municipal employee status was to be taken away, she couldn't draw from somebody who may be a part-time employee.
Okay. And what was the opinion on the plumbing and gas inspector? Plumbing and gas inspector is not, a part-time or doesn't have another part-time position, my understanding, in town. But again, it doesn't segregate him from any financial matters, that if he has a company, and even though it's not, he may be working for his own company and somebody else may be part of that company, if there's a financial interest there,
and this person is doing work for the town, may not be inspecting it, but may still have a financial interest, I would highly encourage him and ask that person to get an opinion from the State Ethics Commission, to call the lawyer of the day. They're very easy to get a hold of, and you can leave a message, and they'll call you back and describe your potential conflict, and they're the ones that can give you the clearance, the quote-unquote get-out-of-jail-free card. If they clear the potential conflict, then you will be cleared.
And always get that back in an email.
Get it back in an email.
Make sure that you get something documented, because
Yeah.
if a problem does arise,
Yeah.
well, I had a conversation with so-and-so
Right,
on, okay, well, do you have any proof?
right.
Yeah. So it's best to always get something in an email from them saying that what you discussed, and that, you disclose the matter.
And they may just simply ask you, instead of, even though you just disclose it to them, they may ask you to fill out a financial form, a disclosure form that you would get from the town clerk. The town clerk would keep it on file, and every year you're required to fill out that form, as well as as long as you're appointed to that position. So every year, as you get appointed, you have to refill out the form with the town clerk.
Do you have any questions?
No, I think we should just get rid of them all. And if the need arises, we can, nothing's saying that next week we can reappoint somebody if there's, an issue, so I would say let's clean it up and start over.
I agree.
Chief, I know you were vocal on.
Oh, we wanted to, okay, sorry.
Sorry.
I guess we were gonna do
Boy, Fire Chief.
Yeah.
I did speak, we did talk about this last week, I did speak with our town administrator, we did discuss it, I think there could be a need for addressing and modifying simply the on-call staff of the fire
sorry,
department.
I got ahead of myself.
Just because they're inherently a little bit different than everybody else, most of them are not paid hourly, they're paid as a small stipend once a year for those reasons, and until that really changes and everything, I think that there could be a need for keeping only the on-call staff as part of it. So I guess I would ask tonight if the board would consider changing and modifying that language a little bit and clearing it up to just on-call staff.
And the other ones that we didn't think about is the attorneys for the planning board. Weren't they given special municipal employee status?
Yeah, Merrick O'Connell, yeah.
So we would have to make sure that,
Well, we already appointed it, so it's,
yeah, but
you wanna add?
because they weren't on a list, we didn't have anything else. Do we have it in writing that they have that status?
Yes.
It would be in the minutes of the meeting, which was
Lori, I believe, has it also. I'll
Okay.
double check with her.
We just want to make sure, because
So
if
it
we're
should-
gonna do it, we would just give it to
should
them.
go on that list, I guess, then.
Yes, yeah. I'll have her add it to this list.
Yeah,
Because we already approved them before, we haven't removed them.
no,
All right. And, I could see where a concern might come up for the fire department for your on-call guys.
Yeah. I would just-
And they're not approving permits, they're not
No,
doing anything
no.
else within the community, it's just
Yeah.
their
And I-
employment status.
And I
could
would
be an
just
issue.
ask that it would say on-call members, not on-call firefighters, because there's some that are not firefighters, they could be an on-call EMT, so just to encompass everybody, it would just be on-call members that,
On-call members to
on-
the fire
yes,
department.
Yes, that's, I think that would be the most appropriate language.
That's a position?
I'm sorry?
That's a position?
Yeah, because like I said, they can be on the fire department, but if you just say firefighters, I don't want to, they're not, some of them may be only an EMT, they're not a firefighter, so. it wouldn't
Well, we
quite-
would say firefighter or EMT.
Okay.
On
On-call.
And
Yeah.
EMT.
As long as it includes both, just because, again, not every single member is a firefighter, some of them may be an on-call EMT.
Just concerned about kind of open language when you say things, it's gotta be to the position. So if we say on-call firefighters and
Okay,
EMTs.
that's fine. Yep.
That should cover you.
That should be fine.
And again, I don't see a conflict with them as far as that position being able to use that influence in any way in any other area, like permits or purchasing or anything like that, so, you know, just that work status could be a problem. Hey, do you have any questions?
No, they should have it, so
Okay.
I agree. It's
Do
a
you-
no-brainer, sir.
Do you feel anything about, as far as the plumbing inspector or election officials? Election officials, it doesn't affect. There's no
Yeah.
conflict that arises with election officials, so it's not even an issue, and if it does become an issue, we could take the vote up again and address
Yeah.
it, but it's just not even an issue now, because it affects nobody.
Let's just be clear that everybody's special, but we're gonna take these things out.
Okay? Yeah, I'm good with it. We'll keep it just planning board legal for their request
Okay, so,
and the fire department.
all right, so I'm gonna do two motions, right? I'm gonna make a motion to remove the plumbing and gas inspector and election officials from the list of special municipal employees.
I would remove the fire department too, as members,
Okay, and the fire department.
because then we'll just reappoint
members.
them
Okay,
under the specific language.
okay,
So I've just removed all three of these areas, and then we'll just reappoint the fire department.
okay, yeah, I added them.
Okay.
Second?
Well, did you do the motion?
Yeah, I added them when you said that.
Okay, because I didn't get, I thought we were just discussing it.
Oh, no, I did a motion.
Okay, all right. Can you actually do it again to clarify? Because I didn't catch the motion on that one.
I'll make a motion to remove remove from the special municipal employee status, the plumbing and gas inspector, fire department members, and election officials.
Second?
All in favor?
Richi Hacker, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye.
David Dufresne, aye. The motion passes unanimously.
All right, I'll make a motion to give the status of special municipal employee to the fire department on-call firefighters and on-call EMT members.
Second?
All in favor?
Richi Hacker, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye.
David Dufresne, aye. The motion passes unanimously.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Very appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Moving on now. Excuse me. Review closeout letter issued by the Department of Labor Standards for an order to correct the hazards located at 1 Milton O'Fountain Way. That is the old town hall building / police department. Okay, so Mr. Farrar, what's our status on that one?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. This evening before you, I'm pleased to bring to the board a letter dated August 28th from the Department of Labor and Workforce Development, a closeout letter. As reported back in June, we received an order to correct. A lot of this stuff had already been taken care of due to the inspection that was done back in May. And now the town had received an order to correct in June. And now the the 8 items that were listed on the closeout letter have been resolved by the Department of Labor. And I wanted to bring it to your attention that the Department of Labor has closed out the town's case.
Very good. Very good. All right.
Yeah,
And
excellent.
we're still addressing other issues.
Other issues there, yes.
That are, they're just standards that we need to upgrade with.
Yeah.
You know, as far as the building commissioner noticed and other things that we have to address. So we have been working on that building, trying to fix issues. And again, Department of Labor did a very good letter identifying a bunch of issues that they were very concerned with. And we got them all fixed or corrective actions made. Definitely very good progress on that. Thank you very much with that.
Thank you. And we're going to be continuing, I'll be continuing to work with Chief Millette on, doing some upgrades to some of the deficiencies that was found by the building commissioner. We have a new allocation of a line. I'll be, working with him on those projects, bringing the projects before the board for your consideration to move forward.
Okay. Do you have any questions?
No. Thank you, Jim, for taking care of this so quickly.
Yeah, thank you very much.
No problem.
Anybody have any questions about that? Okay. On to the third item of the agenda. Review written quotes for the senior center exterior building improvement project. Okay. So we got some quotes?
So, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, as I had indicated previously in our past discussions, the senior center exterior building project was brought to my attention by the director, Sharon Milley of the senior center, when I first really started with peeling paint and with other gutter issues and trying to address some of the mold that's growing on the back of the building, and some repainting in some areas there. Fast forward, we're now we were able to had some time, put together a scope of work. The scope of work was advertised publicly. We solicited quotes. We got up to five. We got 5 responses, written quotes back that are here before you this evening. So this is for work that is going to be being proposed to be done, which is to vinyl side the entire front of the building. Along with that, put some insulation on the front, vinyl side, the front half of the building. It's currently painted. The siding on the sides would be like a bright white color. The exterior front of the building would be like a navy blue color. Would have a complete gutter replacements throughout the entire around the entire side of the building, around the whole exterior of the building. Currently, there are some gutters that match, some that don't match, some that are connected, others that are broken. These would be seamless gutters that would be put in around the entire building. The exterior of the building, where there's concrete wall, would be scraped and repainted. The back part of it would be totally power washed, and the front alcove would be also cleaned up and painted as well. So all of those quotes, we received 5 quotes from the solicitation. The lowest quote was $33,400. The highest.
Why are they so cheaper? Why?
Yeah, that-
Why?
that
Because they
worries
were off
me.
by like $20,000
Yeah.
than anybody else.
Well, if I had to guess, this particular person is a one-person operation and does not have to pay prevailing wage.
Yeah, because everybody's up in the 50s. Alright. So do we have any recommendations for any particular?
So under Massachusetts law, you have to pick the lowest and most responsible bidder.
Yeah, qualified, most qualified, right?
Lowest responsible, yeah.
So that would be 360.
Correct.
Well, as long as their proposal meets what you're looking for.
Right.
Now, are you doing a performance bond on these?
So there's a requirement of a payment bond, 50% payment bond.
Okay,
That's state law that you have to be required.
Oh, okay.
So upon
So-
execution of a contract, they would have to provide a 50% payment bond.
okay. Is
Are
the,
you here for this part tonight?
Yes, we are.
is the single-person company gonna be able to do this?
So, for the.
It's a lot of work.
Yes, for the responsibility part of this, you know, this person also did the work in the treasurer's office. So, this is the
You
same,
actually did pretty good work.
same worker in the treasurer's office.
But hanging a gutter would seem to take two people. I don't know. I mean, that, that's,
I did my house, I know what the scope of work is here,
yeah,
he'll be fine.
okay.
This is not very
Sometimes,
difficult thing.
yeah, sometimes when you think you need more people,
Yeah, you know.
you don't, because, you know, I used to do construction hanging 12-foot sheets of sheetrock by myself. And it's like, other people were doing it.
It
with a
just
couple
takes
people.
longer.
Slower work, but you're getting it done.
Yeah, that's fine.
And it's nice to have an extra hand, but you don't need them.
Yeah,
And like you said, he did a wonderful job over there. He was very efficient.
Do you ladies have an opinion?
Feeding Hills,
yeah, Springfield, right?
well, Feeding Hills, yeah.
Feeding Hills,
Agawam.
man.
Oh, Agawam?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I see the treasurer's work, it was very, very well done.
Yeah.
You know, I work with him for that, and he's very good at it.
It looks fantastic what he did, yeah.
And he understands the, you know, technical language very good.
Yeah.
How did you work with them?
Can I ask?
'Cause I guide him how to
long
do
would
it.
take?
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, you don't work with him.
No.
Okay.
On that project.
I just wanted to make sure that you didn't just bring up a conflict.
Nope.
There's no conflict.
No
right?
conflict. When he came to, before he did that, we talked,
Yeah.
and everything I was telling him, he understood perfectly, you know, in terms of construction. So I even his numbers, it's lower by a big factor.
Yeah.
He's a guy that understands construction. That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm just wondering if you even get the materials for that at that price.
So,
I mean, this is his bid, so it's on him to.
to answer Kathy's question, it would be dependent upon when a contract would be signed. So if the board was to decide to move forward to this evening and sign a contract, then he would have to come in and provide, obviously, all of his insurances and his payment bond, and then sign the contract and we'd have to have an executed contract. The solicitation for quotes has this project wrapped up by October 6th.
Do you have any other questions?
For one day.
But he says he can do it.
Yeah, no,
And I'm sure he'll work around, as I already spoke with Jim about the handicap accessible, the ramp and the door. As long as I
Gotta
know
stay
ahead.
open.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or if we know ahead, we can let people know.
Yeah, you just
close
plan.
to- Yeah, just so, that's my only concern, other than that, we're fine. And Jim was already aware of that, so he assured me that it's in the contract that as little disturbance as possible. So,
Correct.
yes.
Any other questions?
No, very excited.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. What do you guys think?
If everybody's comfortable, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, he's $20,000 cheaper.
Yeah,
We did
you-
see his work.
You can't beat the price, and
You know, he
yeah.
does do good work, and if he says he could do it at that price, you know, we'll see. What do you think?
I think he will be a good person to do it.
Okay.
I mean,
It's
for-
possible
for-
because you're not doing the back section. So
Huh?
you're just doing.
Doing the front section only, right?
Yeah.
For
But
the
then it's
record,
power washing the whole building, scraping and painting areas and stuff, so they're doing a lot. The only thing that's being sided is the front,
correct,
and then the gutters are being done around the whole
the
building.
entire building.
It was basically original building, then they had an add-on, then they had
Yeah.
another add-on, so it needs to all be, which is great.
It's gonna look nice.
It's gonna look wonderful, we're so excited.
Yeah, I'm good with 360 building and remodeling, so you wanna do a motion for that?
Can I read the quotes, just for the
Yeah,
record for what
yeah.
we had? So, Campagno Construction from Ludlow submitted a quote for $45,863. General Contracting Solutions from Southwick submitted a quote for $58,725. 360 Building and Remodeling from Feeding Hills submitted a quote for $33,400. They are the lowest bidder. FRG Contractor Corp. from Woolburn, Mass. submitted a quote of $50,432. Igor's Construction from Worcester, Mass. Submitted a quote for $57,535.26.
Thank you, sir. Okay. You good?
Yeah.
Good for a motion?
Yep. So we're skipping to number 5, right? Did you divide this up for a reason?
So there's separate things here. So you review the quotes first, and then for the money piece of this, okay, the money piece is that we have, as everybody is aware, at the annual town meeting, we had a line item for improvements to the Shepherd Building and to the Senior Center Building for $30,000. Okay, we have available in that line $26,305. So we are short approximately $7,095 to get this project done.
Just so happens to be what we have left in ARPA.
Well, no, we still have some money left in
We'll have a
ARPA.
little bit of
A
change
little
left.
bit.
So that's gonna be a question of mine, like, I know 30 was voted for both, so I was curious about that, but I figured I'd wait and ask him.
So if this was to be approved, we would have to use $7,095 from ARPA, which would give us a balance of $8,687.93.
Okay. And that takes away any improvement for this
Correct.
building?
Correct.
So
We would have
everything is
to,
dedicated
it
to.
would be dedicated strictly, the chunk of that article would go to the senior center.
Okay.
And it's
I'm good with
appropriate
that.
though, because, because of COVID, we couldn't get it painted, we were scheduled with the sheriff's department. That spring of 2020, COVID hit and the project stopped and it has not
Yeah.
started back up, and I'm like, no. And in the meantime, now we've got wood that's, starting to rot, obviously,
Right.
this is not painted.
No, we have to do it.
Yes.
We have to do it, but just want everybody to be clear, there's no more money until,
We appreciate it.
we used it all up on you
Appreciate it.
guys, so.
Yay,
Um,
appreciate it, thank you.
I'm good with that, though. But
So
we
what
have
would-
to go to the next item then, because we got split up in 3 places here. Review the bids. Number 4, discussion and possible vote to use a portion of American Rescue Plan Act funds, ARPA, to offset the cost of the senior center exterior building improvement project. And then discussion and possible vote to enter into a contract for the lowest bidder for the exterior of the building improvement project. for the senior center.
So what would be the ARPA balance? Is it the 868793? Okay.
Okay. Correction numbers?
Yeah.
You good?
All right, so you want me to make
You
a
good,
motion
Connie?
on 4?
Do you have any concerns? You good?
No, just sad to see all our ARPA money go away finally.
Yeah, but we've done a lot with
We
it too.
have, yeah.
We've done a lot.
Yeah.
You know, we've improved a lot of the departments, and it's honestly senior center's turn. You
Yeah.
know, we've gotten you guys some equipment here and there, but now we gotta make your building look good too for the seniors, so.
Mhm.
You know, we've been trying to make a lot of these rooms, like this room and other offices look good. And it's their turn. They waited. They waited long enough. Are you good with that, sir?
Yes, sir. All right, so I'll make a motion to use $7,095 of American Rescue Plan Act funds to offset the cost of the senior center exterior building improvement project.
Second,
All in favor?
Rich Hacker, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye.
David Dufresne, aye. The motion passes unanimously. And then we gotta enter into a contract with 360 Building and Remodeling, and we're all good with that contract. It's the lowest bidder for the same amount of work. There is no variation in work in any of these bidders. Everybody listed out the same exact work, so you're getting the same product, same everything, just at a cheaper cost, so.
All right, I'll make a motion to enter into a contract with 360 Degree Building and Remodeling for the Senior Center Exterior Building Improvement Project.
You gotta say, do you say amount?
No.
You already said the amount.
Yeah.
It's all right, it's in the contract.
Okay.
Second,
All in favor?
Rich Hacker, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye.
David Dufresne, aye. The motion passes unanimously. And we'll sign the contract for 360 Building and Remodeling. Do I have to sign that?
Yep, so all three members will have to sign,
Okay.
and then I'll have to get the counter signed, the contractor to sign, countersign it, and then town council has to review it, and the accountant has to approve the funds.
Okay. Sounds good. So we're all set with that. It's approved.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question.
Yes.
Who is the contract?
360
360 Building
building
and Remodeling.
remodeling,
And they're out of
Feeding
Hills, Mass. They actually did the project in the treasurer's office.
Yeah, I got
If
all
you
that.
go in
I
there,
didn't
it
get
actually
all
looks
at
good.
once.
It's funny, the zip code is 01030. Very close.
And we just signed the contract.
It's good. We're excited.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you very much. Another Russian from anymore.
Good things coming. Good things coming. You know, we're trying.
No, I did absolutely, and when Jim came down and looked and, we went around the whole building, kind of looked exciting. He heard me and he looked into it, 'cause now it's done. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's gonna have to be power washed, but we're not gonna have to heat it every couple of years, and clearly that's hard to do.
Yeah, it takes time.
Yeah, but no, thank you all, thank you very much.
I do also want to bring to the board's attention, I know this has come up in the past.
You're not gonna burst our bubble now, are you?
Well, no, there is a neighbor that abuts the property that has a concern about the noise of the air conditioning unit at the senior center. And he's
We're
wants
gonna
the.
address that too.
Yeah, he wants
Yeah.
the town to.
Summer is
put up a
gone,
fence.
so we have some time.
Yeah.
But it's,
Your AC's going off soon, right?
it's just not as easy as just putting up a fence, you know, we have
Yeah.
to get a surveyor, will, you know.
Why don't we get a new split system? Would
And that's
be
the
cheaper.
thing, maybe addressing, because it is an older system,
Yeah.
maybe addressing the air conditioning unit there, because building a fence is not gonna guarantee it.
No.
Right.
You know, it may help, but if it's that loud,
It shouldn't
then
be
we
that
might
loud
have
to
to
begin
address
with.
the actual air conditioning
Has
unit.
anybody looked at the unit? I mean, maybe there's
I
something.
mean, I was over there when it went off, I didn't think it was that loud, but that's my opinion.
I
Yeah.
didn't think it was.
You're not alone.
Well, some people just have
It's
a
very
sensitivity and,
You know, it's right behind where the unit is, and there used to be a fence and a bunch of vines and things, and those have now been taken down. So now it's open, which is part of it.
so it's more of a clear path.
Yeah.
But sometimes a fence doesn't really help. Sometimes they could actually amplify the sound because it reflects off of the
Yeah.
object, and makes it louder. So we can't just throw up a fence and say, okay, this is gonna fix your problem, and then it gets louder, and then we just invested all that money in the fence. So it'd probably be better, since we're addressing that issue, is to address it with, maybe we can upgrade the system, give you a better system that's quieter.
More efficient.
And that's newer, because it is an older system.
Yeah, and in the winter and the summer, it's such a big old building that, you know, it's hard to keep the temperature up in the winter, and it's hard to bring it down in the summer.
Maybe a split system then, right?
Yeah, the
Address
split
it.
system is more efficient and it will give you some heat in the winter too.
How do you heat right now? Forced hot water?
No, it's, we have a cold air return and a warm air. You know.
So you have ductwork.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have ductwork.
So there's a furnace somewhere
It's
there.
a heating
Yeah.
and cooling unit outside.
Yeah.
Did
It'd be a
we-
project that we can address, and again, we're gonna have a special in the fall, and maybe we can put an article together to address the ventilation system, air conditioning, heating system for the senior center. I'd be hard pressed, residents don't vote to approve that, so,
Maybe get bids on it first.
yeah, we'd have to get bids on it and everything, so we know what it's gonna cost.
I don't know if it's done. Have you done those assessments from National Grid?
Mass,
People have come in over the years, Selectmen had them come in, I didn't get the reports, they came in.
the Mass Save.
But yeah, they put new lights in, you know, that kind of thing.
Oh,
They
that's,
went and
that's
asked
the
them.
agreement, yeah. That's, what's the
Who?
company name?
Guardian.
We had all the
Guardian.
windows put in too.
We did that.
Yeah.
We have done improvements over the years.
Yeah,
you
we've had
know.
all new windows.
Every year I
double
try to do
pane
something.
My point is because they will get you a new split system at a lower price.
But I think because it's a municipal building, maybe. Because that's usually for
That I don't know.
residents.
Well, we
We'd have
might
to
be able
look
to get
into
a
that.
grant, right?
Yeah.
Well, there could be a grant out, you know, coming down the pike, sure. There's gonna be a green communities project that's coming up in the spring that the town could, you know, petition, you know, green communities to do. We just have to finish up our current project at the Warren Elementary School right now. And then we'll be eligible to apply for another grant come the spring.
Mm.
Okay.
And of course, we know the roof, we've been looking at the roof, it's fine for a few more years.
Yeah, you probably got, you know,
But there's
3 to 4 years left.
3 sections of roof, so, and that was my question a couple of years ago, I wanted someone looking at it, you know, I want it on the radar, because it's something we're gonna have to address. Whether we start putting money in capitalization or something like that, but it's something, nothing now, but a couple of years. it'll
Well, that would be the thing, is start putting away
Start doing
now
it now.
at the special or the
Yeah.
annual.
Yeah, the special is a good idea. 'Cause
$10,000,
we use that
$20,000.
area for the summer when it's very hot. So there's public use.
Yeah, it's our cooling center, so.
It is, and we're social service too, so we have people of all ages coming in for like fuel assistance and, you know, all different kinds, SNAP benefits, we're kiosks, so we get a lot of these.
Karen, do you have a list of stuff for the special?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
we put
can
it
you
on.
add a capital fund
Mhm.
for the roof of the senior center? And then we can figure out an amount,
Okay.
maybe 20,000, 10,000, anything.
This way at least.
And
Would help.
also one for an
The
article for the
Yes.
heating system.
Yes.
We could do that
Yeah, I would
too.
say that too, because at least we can dedicate the money and go from there, and if we don't use it, we don't use it, but at least if we don't get a grant for it, we have the money dedicated from the special for it.
Yeah.
And I would look
Yeah.
at some bids, get somebody over there, look at how we can improve it, and, give them both heat and air conditioning. And maybe not just fix it, but replace the system with something better, split system or something. Or if we can do something with the HVAC that's there, Because an HVAC unit it's a really good unit as long as it's maintained and put in properly. So your ventilation, your duct system needs to have, areas where it can close off if it's getting too hot in an area, and, open up if it's
Yeah,
needed.
currently, like.
It's
the
probably just a
office-
completely open system, so when you turn it on,
Yeah.
it just blows it through all the ducts.
So I'm usually climbing up on the chairs to close the vents so
Yeah.
it's not so cold, or, oh, it's cold, it's warm, oh, we gotta open the vents, or, yeah.
Yeah, there's automatic ones with,
And
you
there's
use a
none in the
thermostat to
bathrooms.
control it in the areas.
They don't, we have electric heat in the bathrooms, so I don't
Again,
know why. I
well,
wasn't there at the time. this
With the
happened.
bathrooms, it's different because you don't want that odor traveling through the rest of the building, and sometimes it can get into the HVAC. So they just use a different,
All right, that makes sense now, because I wondered, I'm like, why would
so
they
you
do
usually
that?
put a baseboard heat in
That's
there
what we have,
or
baseboard
something else,
electric heat.
unless you have it's done right. It has to be done right.
I believe it was a block grant, Chris Dumpy was part of that. That was-
CDBG, yeah.
Yeah.
When it was installed?
Yeah, it was a few years before me, so probably maybe 12 years ago. So
The-
not that old, the heating system.
The heating
was-
system.
Yeah, and that back section was added on.
Okay.
Might have been 15 years, to be honest, I know it was before me, and I'll be 9 years this fall, so. it's a
Yeah,
few
they
years.
might wanna just look at, upgrading it, so you have registers that are on thermostats that they can control the heat a little better instead of manually closing and opening the registers, and, looking at maybe a new air conditioning unit for it, or a split level system might be better. Let's look at the options and see what's better for the building.
Yeah.
Because they have I personally want to have the ductwork in there because you can filter the air better, you get, you
It's
put
already
the
there.
filters in, it's easier to control. You can add humidity to the air, because there's humidifiers and dehumidifiers, so you can take the humidity out of the air too, with some of those systems.
That would be nice.
So, but that has to be added into the system. So there's things you can do with them, more than just a split system. All right, so we'll definitely look at that, and if we can start looking at bids and stuff and see how we can make it better for them,
Thank you.
so we can do that. All right. Anything else?
Thank you very much. Very much.
Was it, anything else? And then we got a capital improvement plan that we're gonna look at, and try to get passed for a special for the roof.
Just to prepare, yes.
Anything else? Because we've cleaned out your building and we've done
Yes,
a
we
lot of
did.
work
Yes, we
over
did.
there.
We did, we're doing fabulous, thank you. We're working on it, we got a
And then
lot
you
of
get new,
stuff coming.
all new appliances and stuff that are
We
coming?
are, yes, we're working on that, that's another whole thing, so one thing at a time, we're working on it. So, and we got the digital literacy grant
Yep.
with Rare and Berry, so we're gonna be having classes, all kinds of stuff, tablets for people to take, it's gonna be great, so. We're gonna be connected safely, and up
Yeah.
to scams, so.
Cities are excited about it.
They are.
There's so much going on now, with the building and remodeling and everything. They're excited, most of them say it's been too long. It's been too long.
Been way too long.
Nobody ever thought about us, you know, but, yeah.
Well, in the hierarchy of things, it's, you know, you're always trying to make sure you have the proper fire equipment to respond to fires.
And over the years, we understand that.
And it just like, you gotta get your portion too, and I think we've done pretty good with ARPA money because
Spread it out.
everybody's got a piece. Everybody, you know, between parks and, you know, police, fire,
It's a difficult job.
everybody's gotten a piece. Sewer department,
Highway.
There's a small
highway.
amount to go around, I know.
You know, so we've made so many improvements with all these different departments to get us all up to where we should be. Now it's on us to maintain that and keep it nice. So, and I think we can do that now.
Yeah,
We're
thank you.
good.
Yep.
And we're in good hands.
We're
You
good.
know,
Well,
you guys got it in
are sure
control
well, so
and
thank you.
you're doing a good job. So, all right, do you have anything else?
No, I don't. I'm good.
And you guys might want to stay for the Whip City Fiber part because we're going to be talking about that. So,
Next.
and that's internet and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay. So we covered all those. So the next thing on the agenda is report back from the meeting with the representatives from Whip City Fiber and Westfield Gas and Electric. Okay. So we had a meeting today with them, and they help a municipality establish their own internet in their community. Okay? So we all know the costs of everything are going up. Internet is going up. Comcast's going up on their prices again. These things are getting way out of control for people on fixed incomes. And, you know, we're looking at what are you actually getting for that amount of money also. So, you know, Mr. Ihacker and Mr. Ferrara, when they attended a seminar this summer, they seen their booth and they talked with them about it. And they brought it back to us. And again, we had a meeting today about it. And with that meeting, it was identifying how Whip City can set up the town as our own internet provider. And we would establish a system through Whip City, okay? And it would be a 100% fiber network, so it would all be fiber optic. And you would have 1 gig up, 1 gig down speed for service. And the town would establish what it's gonna cost for your internet bill. So you would actually be paying the town for your internet. And that money would be used to pay back if we had to do a bond to get the system. So we would get a bond, or between grants and other things, we'd bring down the cost for installing it into the town. And with that, the fees would pay back any money that the town invested into this project and to pay for it. So your fees would actually just be going back to the town instead of going to another company. So you'd be reinvesting into your community again to pay for this. And you know, we could establish the fees, so there are senior discounts, and you would also, seniors and is a low economically deprived households could potentially get in a program. It's a federal program.
Yes.
It's a federal program,
Yes.
and you can get up to $30 off of your internet bill. So a majority of the communities are charging for the internet service between $70 and $90. Okay, and it depends on how many people get into the service. So if we get 100 people that sign up for it, it's not worth it for the town. But if we can get 50% of the town to sign up for it, then it makes it worth it. If we can get 60, then it lowers the costs. So in return, it lowers the fees. So it's beneficial the more people that sign up for it get it at a lower cost. You get a faster speed, 100% fiber optic, and it would be paid into the town. And then when the bond is paid off, the town owns it completely. So we can even lower the costs even more because that bond is paid off and we own the system now. So we could charge a lesser fee if the town chooses to provide that product. The product is also, it's also upgradable. So right now we would be providing 1 gig of service up and down for speed. And later on, with some upgrades, we can go to 10 gig up and down, okay? And that's coming in the future for that. So this is something that, you know, Whip City does, and it's been pretty popular. We actually had a map. I don't know if you want to grab the map.
Oh, sure.
We have the maps in there.
Got me, Robert?
They gave us the big maps of communities that are already on their program, and we're going to look into that. And a lot of it is real rural areas that have a hard time getting anything, and they came into these communities and where they couldn't get any internet at all, they established an internet network for them in those communities.
There are sections of Warren that have no internet.
Right.
So
Yeah,
is it-
and we talked about that too, and they said they could actually address that.
Sir,
So, yes, sir.
just for the record, when he says 1 giga,
I'm-
that means 1,000.
okay.
Right here, we're getting 28.
Okay. So now, say you're a gamer.
So we're only getting 28 megabytes.
Yes, we're only getting 28. They are talking about 1,000.
Okay.
So it should be very fast.
I get high speed at my house from Comcast, because of course FiOS, you can't really get, right now. So would that be comparable?
From
Like,
five,
say you have
every
neighbors.
provider gives you different, but you can, I'm not sure, you
So-
remember the little phone that you will call for the routers that will make a phone call? That's 3. Here's 28. 28 is good enough for Zoom and all our phones, everybody's connected. 1,000 is overkill.
You'd be getting more than enough. So you could do streaming, you could do everything, no slow speeds.
People with 6 kids can have everything going, and
And you gotta remember, those companies like Comcast and all them, they're charging you by your speed too. And then if you get onto like HughesNet or is it Gateway or, you know, there's Wild Blue, the satellite ones, they charge you by your data. You buy an amount of data, and then when you go over that, they charge you more for that data. And it can get quite expensive, so if you do an upgrade to a computer, like your Windows or something, you have to upgrade your computer and update the software on it, that could eat up quite a bit of data. And that's the amount of data you get for a month. And if you use it all up with one upgrade
Windows
to your
update.
computer, a Windows update, you have no more internet, or unless you buy more speed. Those packages look great, but you got to really look into them and see what they're offering. What these people would be offering is an internet service to the town, and it would be the town's internet. It would be our lines, our fiber optic lines, so it'd be all our equipment, and we would have a station that all that would be going into, and it would be 100% fiber optic. A lot of these other companies, it's going through copper lines, so you lose a lot through the transmission process.
who fixes it if it breaks?
Whip City, they do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But once we own it, they still will fix it?
Well, we would have the fees, we could establish like a capital improvement plan. So the fees that are paid to the town for the use of the internet would actually go for upgrades and maintaining the systems. So if we had a problem or anything, and if we had a big storm, our insurance company would cover it. So the insurance company would pay for it, but they would come in, and Whip City Fiber would have all their people, they would come in, fix it for us, get it all set, give us a bill, and we just pay it, whether it's through insurance, or if we had a capital improvement plan based on the costs that we, the fees. So,
Sounds really good.
it would be a great option, and we could give it at a fixed rate, and the town would have the say in it. So we would decide what the fees are gonna be as a community. And, we'd have to look at it and say, okay, we have to have this much money to be able to pay back the bond, to be able to get by and make sure we have some money, if anything happened, we can get something fixed. But it would be our product, and it wouldn't be leaving our community. We own it. So, and it seemed like a really good viable option for the town, if that's what they wanted to do. So those right there, the ones in green on the map, are all communities that have already gone to this system. And it's a lot of communities around us that are rural. If you could read off some of them.
Sure, so you got Beckett, Blandford, Otis, Washington, Chesterfield, Wendell, New Salem, Rowe, Heath, New Ashford, Cummington, Plainfield, Windsor, Goshen, Chesterfield. Those are communities that currently are on.
There's a few communities that are in the process of doing it too, that are establishing it also. And, again, I don't know if you want to say anything about what you've learned.
I think you covered most of it, so.
Well, I don't remember everything, so.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think they put in some redundancies, that was part of the discussion, so if, one line goes down somewhere, you still get your service.
Yeah.
So we visited their operations center. So they have, vehicles there that they send out in the event of, if somebody has a problem, or if there's storms. They also contract with another company. They don't necessarily, they're not able to, if there's a big storm, they're not gonna be able to cover that whole area. But they do have people that they contract with. So say a hurricane came through or something, or an ice storm, they would be able to fix, use those people to fix the lines.
And that's only if, because they're gonna be run on the power lines, just like regular, your regular cable lines and transmission lines. Only if National Grid gets the poles up and everything's fixed for National Grid. So if people are complaining saying, I don't have internet, well, that's because we have a dozen poles still laying on the ground. We gotta get National Grid to put them up so they can fix their fiber. So it's just like any other service that you would have that runs on the poles. It's contingent of National Grid because they own the poles to fix the poles and get those up. And then they can come in right behind them and fix their service. The good thing about this is the fiber optic lines that they put in, they actually put up a backup generator too. So if the town loses power, backup generator kicks on, it still provides the internet. So you're still getting your internet signal as long as you can provide power to your own home,
Like a generator.
or whatever it is, your computer or whatever, you're still gonna have internet. So you wouldn't lose it. And they have redundant systems where they were saying, because it's light, it goes the speed of light, that it would actually, in some communities, when they first started, it only went one way on the fiber optic line. And they ran into some problems, so now they actually were able to establish it so it goes both ways. And if you lose your internet, they would actually send you an email, or not an email, but a text. So you'd get a response saying that you've just lost internet and why, and they're working on it. So,
They
just
also-
like National Grid does with your electric, say they do
And
the same thing.
approximate when it'll be on.
Yeah, and they would say, hey, approximately 4 hours, you should have it reestablished, and why it was down. Where I don't think Comcast sends a message, it just, it's down.
If I can comment on that.
They
Yeah.
can't send a message because it's down.
Do you know how many times I've done that? Called,
So-
my internet was down. down, I don't have a phone.
And with this gives the community control of the internet, where the residents have feedback in it, where other services, companies, they have investors and they have to have, they need to make so much money to make it worthwhile for them, and they're dealing with other communities too, where this would be our service, and it would be our community deciding on this, and the pricing and everything would be through our community.
Is that gonna be on the special in October?
Probably not this October.
Next year.
We're just very early in this
Okay,
process.
okay.
You know, we
We also
getting.
wanna look at grants and other
Yeah.
funding to
Yeah.
help.
I'm gonna be can I take a picture of that after, so
Yeah.
I see the towns, cause I'll be calling the senior centers there.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
What do you think of your internet, you know, just so
It-
you know.
Yes, please do so.
Yeah, absolutely, and whatever you know, if they have
Research
problems or
everything.
anything, we wanna know,
And the
because we
seniors
don't,
will know.
yeah, and we don't wanna get into a thing where it's causing more problems. You know, we wanna improve the town and make it better, but keep the costs down. And I think something like this, you know, we know the costs of everything are going up, and I know, yeah, I don't even have internet in my house anymore, because it got so expensive, you know, I'm rural, so I don't have Comcast at my house, I don't have cable. I have to use, you know, DirecTV for my provider, and they don't provide internet. So I have to get satellite, or I have to go cellular for internet. And it can get very expensive because I'm paying for it by data. And there's a lot of other residents in our community that are in the same situation too. And these lines can be run cheaper than running like a traditional line, like the copper lines for cable or anything, because they're fiber optic and they don't need the
Well, they don't need amplifiers.
amplifiers and stuff, which can be very expensive.
And they need power, those things don't
Yeah.
need power too.
Yeah, and this doesn't need to have that. You know, they run a straight line, and all they gotta do is run the line, and you're good. So, it's a
Is this
lot
gonna help
easier to put.
the Internet, like, when you leave like a certain area in Warren, like you lose connection? You can't
This is
use the phone?
only the internet in your homes,
Yeah.
Oh, so it has nothing to do with the phone system?
not the phone. That's the phone service, that's different.
Alright.
That's your phone contracts, and,
But
but there are
Why-
cell towers and
Why
stuff.
couldn't we do wireless access points?
I
You
remember,
could probably
I
do that.
remember we asked this when they came, and he said it was up to us to put certain hotspots in town so people can get Wi-Fi for free.
Now,
But-
can I ask about the cell towers? Why is it that, like, I have AT&T, I have no cell service in town? None. You know, if I go to Dunkin' Donuts, I can use my phone.
So, I had a lot of conversations with AT&T and, you know, Verizon and stuff. And AT&T's response was, you have to get a new phone. Okay? And the reason why is the technology that they upgrade to doesn't necessarily support older phones. Okay? So their solution was was get a newer phone, and the newer systems support that. Their companies, they do things that are gonna be beneficial to them. I did get a new phone, and it did help. I'm on to AT&T too.
I have a 13. I just got it not even a year ago.
And you don't get cell
And I
like
have
in West
no cell
Warren?
service in downtown Warren.
I have it in Warren,
No,
not in West Warren.
In downtown
We're the same.
Warren, it's gotten a little better.
Yeah.
Because.
I
think
actually have
they-
service in,
Yeah, I think they
In both
turned
towns?
something
Yeah.
on by the water tank. But.
yeah, they established a new
cell-
cell tower,
Well, I mean, and I have to laugh because you listen to the
Now,
Cellular One and all of these.
are you
things on
doing,
TV
are you doing the upgrades on your phone?
all the time.
Okay, because that's important, because sometimes people don't wanna click upgrade because it messes up the phone or whatever. No, you have to upgrade your phones.
It's actually updates.
Updates, and make sure you shut your phone completely off, let it sit for a few minutes, and then turn it back on again. Because some of those updates might not actually take unless you shut your phone off.
It's like
So-
if I call, if I'm at the post office and I'm waiting for somebody to come out, and I'm playing with it, and I go on Facebook, everything's black. You know, all the picture things are black.
We do have dead zones in our town, and they've tried to address those. And if we let them know about them, they try to address them. They actually had a truck drive through, because they have a special truck that goes through your community, and they identify all the dead zones or areas that are a concern that might be less. And they said we're actually pretty good from their searches. They're like, you got pretty good signal. Some of the problems we do have that they said would affect this is older phones, not updating your phones, okay, and making sure that they have the newer software on there. And the other thing was we have a large amount of ledge in our community, and the ledge kind of causes problems for the signals, and they're trying to address that, but it's just how it is. Same thing in Boston. If you drive in Boston, there's certain roads you lose completely. You get no signal, and then you drive down the street and you hit an intersection and you get complete signal back. And it's the buildings. They
Going over the hill, you go over the hill, and inevitably when you're coming down the hill, the phone starts.
yeah.
You know,
So conceivably, we could set up wireless access points,
Yep.
you know, on telephone poles, right?
Yeah. In the specific corners, you know, center of town, like the senior center, here in town, you know.
Yeah.
They said it was up to us to see how we want to do it.
And you'd have to just enable Wi-Fi calling, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you would end.
Sometimes we have issues at the center, especially like birthday parties, and everybody has their phones, and they're all getting on their phone. And a lot of people can't get on because there's so many other people. You know, say we had 70 people at the center, and 50 of them are on the phone. Some of them complain, you know, what's the Wi-Fi password, and why can't I get on the phone?
And they have a
So-
booster too.
The Wi-Fi would actually,
We have a booster.
You need a
This-
better router.
in this internet would actually help you guys with that too.
Yeah.
Because it it'd give you more than
Your,
enough.
your pipe is gonna be bigger, so
Yeah.
you can handle more calls on the Wi-Fi.
It's all fiber optic, so it's a lot faster, so. I know when you're sitting there and it says you get 1 gig speed, you're paying for 1 gig of speed, okay, through whatever service. But you're not actually getting 1 gig of speed, because if you do a data check for a speed check on there, that's not what you're actually getting, you know?
Right now, we have 9 devices connected to our network. At a speed of 25, it's okay. Now, if your speed is 7 and you have 20 or 25, it will slow down. That's why.
But if we get 1,000,
If we get more speed, you can connect more people.
so it helps a lot. And then I don't really know as far as the creating, hotspots in the community. You guys are best in knowledge on that. If you can kind of explain that, how that would help.
The way it would help is just like when you go to McDonald's and your phone already connects automatically to the Wi-Fi in McDonald's. When you go back to McDonald's, it connects. That's a hotspot. That's how it will work. If there's no signal, you will have signal. You can make phone calls and everything. That will be the kind of hotspot that we could, as the town, put in some specific points so people can join for free and use the Wi-Fi.
So theoretically, we could create those spots in the parks.
Yes.
In areas where you'd actually be able to jump on the Wi-Fi signal within that area and do what you need to do.
Just like McDonald's does. When you get close to McDonald's, bing, you get your Wi-Fi. Exactly the same thing. You walk by the post office, boom, you get connected. That's how it works.
hospitals.
Yeah, hospital zone too.
All right, thank
So,
you. That sounds
one
good.
thing we should probably make clear, this isn't cable TV.
No.
So you can't
It's
get
internet only.
internet only, so anything that's on cable TV, you're not gonna get. If you want Fox News, you've gotta watch it on the internet. Or
You have to stream it.
CNN, you gotta stream it. You can't, because all those cable channels
Well,
aren't.
once you get internet, you can have your apps and watch all that over.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of apps out there that are a lot
Netflix.
cheaper than
Right.
paying for internet.
Like a package.
You get all of your same channels. Literally, it's the same exact thing. It's just you're getting it through your internet.
I have a Fire Stick.
So just like using the Fire Stick, you use
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
And except, I don't know if you have buffer speeds or buffers sometimes.
No, I don't, I haven't had a problem. I still have to pay for like Netflix and Disney and Hulu.
Yeah, those are
and
extras.
You know, but, I get all the regular cable stations and the news stations. I do wish we got Springfield news, but it's all Boston.
Call the FCC.
Yeah, I know. No, I know. I have
Yeah.
a problem with that.
So what
Well,
it
you
is
should
is-
be able to get it if you're streaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what it is
Because you can get any station or net, anything, that's on there. I think you just have to search for it. And
yeah, basically a Fire Stick, a Google Chromecast, and all other devices that work with your TV, so you can connect your phone and look at it over there. But once you're connected to your TV, you can search for everything on your phone and watch it. You can pay for Netflix, Amazon movies, anything, and just watch it on your TV.
I know, actually, Travis, you're kind of our subject matter expert on this one. If he can come down, because he actually worked with explaining how to get things added on, like the Fire Stick and
Yeah, there's an app that they has, so you can watch on your phone, you can watch what he's transmitting here as well. There's an app.
How you doing, sir? So this is kind of touching in your area of how to get other stations and stuff and things added on, like your Fire Stick.
So people would, if they signed up with this internet and then ditched Comcast, they wouldn't have cable TV anymore, right? It would just be internet.
Yeah, so depending on what you're looking for, like us with the cable channel, you can download as long as you got a Roku TV. I don't know if it's on Fire Stick. I know the Roku box is an Apple TV. You can download, it's a cable cast Streamwave, and all the channels like us that are part of this, you can get all of our channels. A lot of the news channels, I know on Roku they have, it's called Haystack News, because I use it at work. And you can select like different news channels that are a part of it. So when I'm sitting in my office, I get a live stream of the Springfield news, Connecticut news. I actually get like, because we're transportation, I do New York and PA, where all of our trucks run. So first thing in the morning, I'm getting 10-minute feed of each news channel. Most of the time you just go to add a channel, it'll give you, there's tons of them on at least Roku that some of them you gotta pay for, like, they got like Peacock TV where you can get the shows and Netflix. But there's a whole host of things out there just by going to add a channel and finding what you want to be able to get news and sports and all those things.
And the good thing about that is you're picking your stations that you actually watch. You're not paying for 1,000, Latin channels. Like, you'd be great with it, but I have no use for it, but I gotta pay for it,
Let me show you something. If you download the app, call it Cablecast, and you search, you can see us ourselves right now live, right there, and that's Travis out sitting right over there. It's
Yeah,
live.
that-
So you're playing it live, what's on right off the
Yeah,
phone.
so everything we broadcast,
Right
where
there.
we
Is that
run a
free?
constant
It's
live
free.
stream.
That's us, that's him.
Okay.
Yeah, so we run a constant
So,
live,
yeah.
even the live stream link that you can get on the computer for us, that's a live stream of the same feed we're giving Comcast. So anytime you go on that, whatever we're feeding Comcast, you're seeing that. We did that for people in town that don't have cable.
Yeah,
or-
Travis is the best.
Or like, the big one was like school committee meetings and, you know, they're held at Quabog. Right now, West Brookfield doesn't have a cable person, but even if they did, West Brookfield wouldn't be able to get that feed because they're on Charter, we're on Comcast. And at one point, you know, a few years ago, they used to go back and forth. First in the meeting in West Brookfield, and then they go back and forth between West Brookfield and Warren. So all that helps for, you know, people in the district that can't get on or
So this is Cablecast that you got for free. It's an app, and you can watch right on there.
yeah,
And it's just streaming. All you need is the internet.
All right,
So-
it was that easy, I did it in like 1 minute.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
literally
mean, if you got
I
a,
just
like,
did it.
if you got a smart TV like this that has it already built in, you can put it right on the TV.
Yep.
A lot of the TVs you buy now are smart TVs, they already have the stuff built into it. You got an older one, you can just buy the little Roku box for, you know, 20, they go from anywhere 20 to $100 depending on how
TVs are-
fancy you wanna get with it.
TVs are pretty cheap now too.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only thing that I see going down in price. You know, you can get a TV like that, and I've seen them for like $300 now.
Well, one of the
Unless-
things I will say with the smart TVs, when we figured this out with ours, because like we use Netflix a lot and Hulu a lot, our TV in our house bought at Best Buy was like $400 for a 60-inch because they had a Father's Day sale. And that was my Father's Day present. Had it for like 3-4 years now. Netflix constantly freezes up. Prime constantly freezes. But we're like, well, it's not worth buying a new TV. So we just bought a brand new Roku box and put that on and just plugged it in. Even though the TV has all the same stuff, I think it hit, you know, just like any other computer, hits a point you can't update it anymore.
Weirds out.
Yeah, but instead of having to buy a whole nother TV, you buy a $20, you know, replacement box, and the only downside is you got 2 remotes again.
But it beats having a $130, you know, cable bill.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So there's options to bring down prices and do things and make it a little affordable for the community and easier access, and it's something that the community owns. So we do with it the way our community wants to. Springfield and Worcester isn't telling us what we need to do with our internet. We're doing it on our own, in our town.
People still have a choice if they, some, like, say,
Yep.
70% wanted with, and then.
Yeah, they can stick with anybody they want.
I thought so, but I wanted
Yeah.
to make sure.
No, they could, and they can keep their cable TV, if they wanna keep Comcast or who, you know, whatever, their direct TV, they can keep their TV. This is just internet. This gives you a better option for getting faster internet, you know, in our community.
You also get, we didn't really talk about it, but I noticed on one of those slides, they talked about phone service too.
Yeah.
So you could get
Comcast
IP
has
phone, right, and it may be more, it may be cheaper than Comcast phone, I don't know what Comcast phone is. I have Verizon landlines, and, I'm paying over $100 a month.
I mean, you're paying for that
Really
service,
harsh.
you can even, any VoIP phone system.
Yeah.
Because that, I mean,
Yeah.
Comcast at this point, that's what it is, it's a VoIP phone system.
Yep.
They just bundle everything in their transmission lines. Like even the schools, I'm pretty sure their phone system's on, because they have fiber for their internet at the schools. And I'm gonna assume that their phone system's on that fiber line.
So what do we have here? Do we use like a Verizon, do we use copper landline? No?
Verizon, Comcast.
Copper, right? It's not 100% fiber.
Oh, see, I mean, we
We're
could,
copper.
we could switch this building over to
100% fiber.
Rip City, yeah.
Uh,
And
which
then
would-
we'd be able to do the IP phones like we've talked about, but we
Yep.
can't, because we can't get enough bandwidth in here.
No.
So that's another thing, like, see, we're like,
It helped services, and that's the reason why, because of public safety, that's why they got the light going both ways, is they had an issue with that, and they were able to fix that, so it doesn't go down. Which is great. You know, it gives us options, and this is one of the many things that, you know, we can do to help improve our town if that's what the way the town wants to go. It would go up for a town vote, because again, we create a public utility, and that would require everybody to vote on it, and, you know, to establish this. And then we'd have to vote on, when we just finally figure out what it would cost, is voting on a bond. You know, and a bond would be about probably a 20-year bond for something like this, and we would pay into that from the fees. So if somebody says, well, I don't want to do it, I don't want that internet, I don't want internet at all, that's fine, it's not affecting you at all. It's the fees. It's basically an enterprise fund, you know, like the sewer. You know, it's the people that are using it. Same thing with our water departments. Not everybody's paying the water department, only the people that use it, you know, for the town water. This would be the same thing. It gets cheaper the more people that we get in there, and then we could lower the costs more, because the more people that are paying into it, those debts are being paid, and then the cost can be lowered for the residents. So it's not like another company where you give them more money and you pay into it, they're not lowering it. They're looking at how much more money can I make off of you. Their prices go up. I've never seen Comcast go down on their budget, on their fees.
you pay more, but you don't necessarily get better service.
Right.
Oh, the other customer support would be out of Westfield, as
It's
opposed
local.
to India or the Philippines or
Yeah.
Vietnam or whatever.
It's 100% American company, so everything's right here.
Yeah, it's all in
local.
Westfield. Yep.
I was gonna say, which city's Westfield? So
Yeah,
100.
yeah. So that's, all the trucks are there, technical support.
Does Westfield have it?
Yeah,
Oh, it does, okay.
Yeah, because it's part
I
of-
didn't notice if it was on there, okay.
yeah, that's the purple thing is
Okay.
Westfield there. So it's Westfield Gas and Electric. That's what
Okay.
Lip City is.
But, so they have this internet?
It's sort of, yeah, like a piece of what they are is the internet.
Now, they're not our internet, the town would be its own internet utility.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, if they have it, 'cause I know a lot of people in Westfield, so I will be able to check, how's your internet?
Oh, yeah, ask them.
Yeah, definitely let us know if you hear good or bad. You know, we definitely encourage people, call around, call up to these communities, see, you know, you get your connections at the senior
Information,
centers.
Absolutely,
You
and
know,
information to be presented at the town meeting to the townspeople. These are people that have it, this is their information, these are, the gamers, these are the, you've got your level of people that use bandwidth and.
Yeah.
It would also be good to know if we need to start sort of collecting a list of people who don't get internet at all in town. Because
Okay,
that,
there's.
That's one of the things that they said that they would be very interested in, is knowing who's not being serviced by internet, because then because they want to
be able to plan.
be able to plan for every single one of our residents to have it.
I think they use like a satellite, right, what does Tracy use?
I think it's a satellite.
Satellite, yeah. and-
Yeah, it's very
And Brooks
expensive.
Road for a while, I don't know if they have it now, but I know I had friends up there that moved out of the city, and they got tired of using satellites, so.
Yeah, and it is a lot of problems with it too, because you lose signal storms.
Yeah, and with DirecTV, you get that pixel, you're trying to watch a show.
Yeah, you lose signal sometimes in really bad storms. And it really is the placement of your disc, but I see, I had a lot of issues with the satellite internet. It's an option for people, but honestly,
Sometimes the
I got
old
better
option.
service through my cell phone. you know, just the cellular, and I could use this as a mobile hotspot for my computer, so I could do that, but I can't do streaming or anything like that on the TV. I could through my phone, but it's still subject of what I can get through, you know, satellite, you know.
But this sounds like good for those people that, like you said, can't get it.
Yeah.
That'd be great, okay.
It definitely gives you option, and it gives you much faster speeds. And like we were saying, what are we supposed to be getting in here? What's the signal supposed to be?
No, I think that's our service here, is 25, right?
Is it 25?
No,
we got
it's
27.
more, but when I do the test, there's a distance between here and the router, so it's gonna lose.
Right.
So,
Signal.
I know I check ours regularly because like we had all the freezing problems and I'm the closest computer to the router. And we get, when the Facebook feed starts crashing, we've gotten as low as 0.5. And on average, we're seeing probably about 12 to 15.
So
what I usually
everybody
see when
can
I check
go
in.
to a computer on a browser and write speed test
Mm-hmm.
and say start, and it will give you the speed. If you have 10 or less, you're on the low side.
Now, keep in mind, we're paying for 25, but you're getting 10 and 15.
Well, your bill will say up, that's what my bill said,
Up to.
remember? Up to 25.
Yeah, that's what it
Yeah.
says.
That doesn't, so anywhere from 0 to 25 is what you're.
And just because you get
gonna
lesser
get.
speeds don't mean they're gonna, well, you got lesser speeds, we're gonna charge you less.
Oh, yeah, yeah. we'll
No,
drop
they,
your bill that
we
much.
promised you up to 25.
Right at the router, because for example, I pay $135 for a gig, but when
Yeah,
I
that's
do
what
the
I-
test, it's only 700.
I think part of it's because of because of the rural area, because like at work, when we moved to Springfield, we got the 1 gig. I think it's like 221 a month. And, well, sometimes it'll drop to like 750, but a lot of times we're getting like more than a gig. So I think
saw that.
us being so rural kinda plays into that a little bit. Because I know Comcast, everything feeds to their head end unit on Coy Hill, and then trickles down. You have amplifiers throughout the whole system to kind of boost that signal again. So I think it
But
kind of all depends where you are on the line.
And that's also the problem too, if you get an amplifier or two that isn't working so well, or gets
Right.
water infiltration, now everything downstream of that is
Yeah,
gonna
and
be
that's some of
affected.
the things like.
It's like a pipe, you got a clog in your pipe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and talking with the engineers, because it's all the same system, and talking with them about the stuff we're doing, that's some of the stuff they constantly deal with is, gotta change an amplifier, fix a line.
With a
So the
100% fiber optic, you don't have that problem.
Right,
Right.
out of the box, there's no power necessary all the way to the home. So that whole fiber line is completely, they call it passive.
Yeah, yeah,
So-
so a lot you can do with fiber. I'd be curious to see the cost. I know when we talked to Walkers about our connection to the school, they were interested in doing like fiber line, because we have fiber that connects this building to the elementary school. And they said it's about 15,000 a mile to run fiber. But the benefit of it is, you can run it 5 strands, you can run 100 strands. And yeah, wire gets more expensive the more you run, but you can actually run bigger lines to plan for something ahead of time.
They run, their main trunks could be up to, was it 880?
860.
Yeah, because the
860 something.
strands are so, they're as thick as hair. So, something like that big, you can have, a few hundred strands in it.
So we have fiber that, the second map there of Warren shows where the fiber comes in.
You can show them, Jim.
Yep, this trunk line right here.
No,
That's
that's
a-
the mass pipe. Go up, yeah,
This one right here?
yep,
Yeah.
that's the fiber coming in. It comes into this building over
Yeah.
here.
comes to
On
our
the,
studio.
So we
So it's a
already
main
have it.
line.
Yeah.
We have fiber here, cause the two schools have fiber for their internet. And that's how our feed goes up to Coy Hill for Comcast. The fiber line runs through here, and then our system feeds into Comcast through their fiber line, and then goes up to their system in Coy Hill. That's how we got into a conversation about fiber, because I didn't realize, the high school had fiber. So, right now, we're running in our connection to the schools an old analog copper line. Walker suggested, well, get in touch with Comcast, see if maybe they can take a couple strands. They might have to, put nodes on it to like send the signal over, but be able to essentially give us a fiber connection at the high school. Should be a lot better for us being connected there.
All right. Do you have any other questions?
No.
Did anybody else have any questions about this? Did you have anything to add?
Yeah, just for the record, and we have the slide presentation from today. This is just an exploratory thing that the selectmen and the town's looking at. There was no decisions there or anything that were made today. This is just a fact-finding, a tour that was done today. There may be a vote that comes before the townspeople. So we're trying to gather up as much information as possible to give it to the townspeople so that they can make an informed decision if and when it should come to a vote. We do have a copy of the slide presentation, and it will be up on our website soon.
And, yeah, this is, again, an option for the community, but the community has to want it. And, the community has to be confident in their decision, and we're gonna try to provide everything we know, and they said they would actually come out here and give presentations too. And the good thing about them is they actually have educational outreach programs for senior centers, and that's one of the things that they do is they'll actually come into your community and teach you how to use this and talk to you and go through your billing and whatever else you have questions about. And when you actually talk to them, and we met some of their customer service representatives, they are very nice.
Yeah.
They were super nice people and very helpful. And when you're talking to somebody, you're talking to somebody in Westfield. You're not talking to somebody in India or wherever. And you're literally talking to Sally in Westfield, and she'll explain it to you. She lives down the street from you. So when they get hit with ice storms, we get hit with ice storm, they know, they're there. So they know what we're dealing with. It's good to have something local.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody have any questions? No? Joe, you look like you have a question. No?
Not on fiber.
All right. Anybody on Zoom have any questions about this?
No one on Zoom.
There's nobody on Zoom. Are we that boring?
I guess so.
They all know about the app.
Yeah.
They'd rather not be recognized on TV.
All right.
Yeah,
Did
right.
Did you have anything else? And we could take pictures of the maps too, and put all that. We'll put all the information up there on the website. Karen's our website designer. She's doing an amazing job.
Thank you for putting our newsletter on.
You're welcome.
So, but I think we're good. There's no other questions. Move on. Thank you.
Thanks, Travis.
Thanks, Travis. Okay, on to warrants and bills.
All right, make a motion to pay the following warrants. Payroll number 10, $52,019.83. Vendor number 12, $965,396.12.
Second,
All in favor?
Richi Hacker, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye.
David Dufresne, aye. The motion passes unanimously.
Make a motion to pay the following bills. KP Law for $1,341.03. National Grid, $18.19. SBA Structures, $1,702.77. Guardian Energy Management Solutions, $100,000. Comcast, $20.30.
Second,
All in favor?
Richi Hacker, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye.
David Dufresne, aye. The motion passes unanimously. Okay, on the minutes, we have none at this point. And town administrator report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Just want to give you an update on a couple of the things that we've had going on since last week, since the time we met. We are getting in every day applications for a building and planning secretary position. Those applications have been adding up. They're coming in. The cutoff date to apply is September 15th. The application, the resumes can be sent to myself. They're right online. You can click on the link if anybody in town wants to apply for the position. It's certainly there right on the website. We also have as our full-time police officer, we've been getting resumes in as well for full-time police officer. They are due back on September 8th. So those are out there. This week I got the final okay from town council after they reviewed the draft RFPs for both the sludge hauling contract and for the highway and road materials. The highway and road materials contract, or IFB, invitation for bid, that the town has been using needed a complete overhaul. Okay, it needed to be updated. And so I worked with town council to get it updated. It's now approved by town council, and both IFBs will be going out next week. So for publication and for circulation, so that we can get bids back for sludge hauling for the sewer plant and for highway and road materials for Chapter 90 projects for highway. Two critical pieces with the sludge hauling contract. We were obviously able to save some money instead of having tie and bond do the IFB as they have done in the past. We've saved the town approximately $4,000. We did it all internally, and we're able to turn it around in relatively a decent amount of time. Continuing to work with CMRPC, Central Mass Regional Planning Commission, on the scope for the EDA grant. We have a draft from a planner there. We've just been going over it, doing emails back and forth. Myself, Chris, Trish Settles from CMRPC, some people from Weston and Sampson. Just been going back and forth on it. We should have a final draft or final proposal scope by next week sometime, and that project will go out again for an RFP in the next week or so. I've been in contact with Deb Bevan, giving her some updates as to where we are in the project, because she obviously, and the feds have obviously seen that we haven't expended any money. And so they wanted to know. I said, that we're probably going to need a small extension. Initially, Deb Bevan doesn't seem to have a problem with that, but I'm still going to keep on track with her on that. And we're anticipating an extension. This project was originally going to be supposed to wrap up in June of '24. Now we're looking like December of '24. So a small extension is what we're asking for. And obviously tonight, with tonight's vote, focus will be on getting this contract signed, sealed, and delivered, with verifying the insurances, verifying the payment bond, getting town council to approve it as to form, getting everybody to sign off on it, and then actually getting the contractor here to start the work. So that work, we're hopeful that as long as now that everything's done, by the time we get everything contracted and finalized, we'll probably have by, given it's the holiday, maybe the 6th or the 7th, give or take, to get everybody signed off on, and then the contractor will have a full month to complete the work. With that said, it's been a busy time, and as I've said, the finance team has been very busy as they're continuing to close out the year end and also onboarding of Vadar. Vadar has, Mike Cullinan from Vadar was on site this week, worked with the Lisa DeGrees from the sewer department and the treasurer on sewer billing issues with Vadar and getting it synced with our current system and getting everything to match up. The treasurer, I know, has also been working on and has, I believe, has gotten past now online bill paying for your sewer bills. And I know Karen is going to be putting that on the website as well so that people can see that and
The link is on the website. You just gotta go to the bottom of the treasurer's page, and
You
we're
can
looking
also-
at how we can make that a little accessible, make it a little easier, but it is on there.
Yeah.
Well, it's also on the front page where it says online bill pay. If you click on that, you can also pay it.
Good. So it's a little bit more user-friendly, as people have been asking. People can make a debit or credit card payment, via a secure link from Unibank to make those payments to the bills. And, as we continue to move forward, with Vadar getting its full rollout, I know that the accountant's office is getting very busy now, obviously with, closing out the year-end books, is also getting ready for the fall special, certifying, getting free cash certified. There's a lot of inner workings with that. I am anticipating in the next coming up weeks to have a meeting, a first meeting of the Finance Committee, with the Finance Committee, to start working on our budget calendar for next year, to start drafting it out and working and have a working session with the Finance Committee on that, as well as, we're going to start talking about articles, believe it or not, for a special. So, time flies. It really does.
It does. It's going by quick. It seems like summer just started and it's over already. We were just talking about the leaves changing color already. So, all right. Anything else, sir?
That's about it for right now.
Do you have any questions?
I don't.
Do you have a question?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, sir. Good job. Okay, new business. We have Warren and West Brookfield football and cheer voluntary toll. So that is number 7. Okay. And then we're looking at discussing, is it okay as they do it in sidewalks, holding signs?
Jerry emailed this to me and asked me to put it on the agenda as new business.
Yep.
He is okay with it.
Mhm.
They plan on doing it exactly like they did last year, where no children will be out in the street.
Right. And they have an adult with them. They do it each year. We've always had, allowed them. I have no issues with it. You?
Nope.
Of course not.
Okay. We're good with it.
Okay, I'll let him know.
And no more new business. So, old business. Do you have any old business?
I don't.
No?
No, sir.
Do we still have money in our budget for the building maintenance at all? Because we need to improve the hinges on some of these doors for these offices and put security hinges in. So,
If it's for the Shepherd building, then
It
we
is
could,
the Shepherd
yeah,
building.
we could take care of it out of Shepherd expense.
okay, can we look at that? Because his offices, treasurer's office,
Mhm.
all these finances, clerk's office, they should have security hinges on the doors,
Okay.
so. Do you have anything?
No.
Any business? Any other business? sir?
No, sir.
Karen?
Nope.
Okay, no old business. Correspondence. What is this one about?
I received a correspondence from a concerned resident about possibly seeing if the town could plant a tree in the empty square in front of Mason's Grill. I think there was a tree that was there at one point. I don't know why it was maybe taken down.
Didn't make it,
Died.
maybe.
Oh, it died? Okay.
You gotta put the
It's
right
on
kind
our
of.
sidewalk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has to be the right kind of tree to go in a spot like that, so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You have to put a dwarf tree in, you have to,
It's gotta be able to survive the heat and all that stuff, so I don't know how.
well, you can only plant it certain times a year too, because you try to plant it, you can't plant it now because it's gonna die, it's not gonna root. It's something you have to do in the early spring. So,
Well, it
what are the other trees that are planted there? Are there?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
What type are they? Do we know?
I have no idea.
My first
I-
thing is probably either maple or oak, but I don't know.
yeah.
It doesn't make sense to plant a maple or oak there because they're gonna grow big.
Well, I can't help it, that's what their leaves look like.
I have no
It's a
idea.
deciduous tree, it
Well-
isn't a pine tree or,
Jeremy is the tree warden, so,
Maybe we could work with Jeremy to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd work
see
with
if-
Jeremy, see
Yeah.
if we get a tree put there.
Okay.
You know, a nice tree and, you know, fix that, yeah,
Okay.
I'm good with it. See if we can get a tree. I'd let her know we're gonna look into it and try to get a tree.
Okay.
It's probably not gonna be until spring though, because planted season's over.
Okay.
You know, we don't have much time at all. All right, and then correspondence from tax collector to Mr. Skinto.
so how come we're getting this?
she just would like the support of the board for what she's saying to him. This is the property that we talked
Yeah.
about back in March, April. That we weren't sure if we wanted to go ahead and take it or if we wanted to go this route. And, so we found out that it's a swamp,
Oh, that's the one they wanted to give to us.
yes.
That we didn't
Because
want.
the mother now has passed.
Right.
So she hadn't passed as of April, but now she has passed, and so. But it's not worth anything,
Well, yeah, because it's a swamp.
right?
There's nothing we can do with it.
So she just wanted your approval on this letter, or your support, not approval, your support.
I mean, Carrie's just doing her job.
Yeah.
She's supposed to send out bills and. it's
I don't
like-
see anything wrong with the letter.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll let her know.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm good with it.
That's just what she asked me to have you.
Yeah. No, we don't want the property, he wants to get rid of it because obviously he doesn't wanna pay the taxes on it. But no benefit to the town at all.
Yeah.
Because it's a swamp. So. We're trying to get rid of some of these properties, we don't want more. Do you guys want a swamp? No? Alright. So next meeting is September 14th,
You
2000.
comments and concerns?
Oh,
I
yeah.
have something for.
Oh, sorry,
corres-
comments
I-
and concerns.
I have something from correspondence.
Okay.
So Tim O'Brien emailed me, and he's asking us if you guys know about what a TSAR means. Basically, is a high-level official who oversees a particular policy. in-
Czar.
That.
The T is silent.
Yeah, okay. And he's looking at one of us to represent for the, let me go to his email. So I asked him what it means, I'm really saying, I'm reading his email, I'm really saying that someone in leadership in the town should be carefully watching some potentially major development in an upcoming clean energy planning. So, and he's kind of like following that through the state, and he wanted to, you know, like have one of us to be like the SAR. So just trying to appoint one of us to work with him.
Well, you can't just create a position.
It's not,
So we couldn't do that. But if he wants to be more, he can actually come into a meeting and explain what he is requesting and what his concern is. That would probably be the best thing for him to do, and explain what's going on, bring it on the radar. Yeah, because I don't know what he's talking about, it's clean energy development.
you know, it says it's not just Boston and the largest cities, it's a small town, Warren too, and hopefully there are already plans in place to address this issue going forward.
What's the issue?
It's a big email, let's see.
Oh, is it one of those like 12-page emails?
So in this section says, so it's all about plan for solar, wind energy, and especially ramping up electric vehicles. That's about it. So maybe if we invited him, give us a little bit. I really would like to, you know, consider him, because he's very knowledgeable and all that. Any support that we can give him is a good thing.
No, Tim O'Brien's really smart. He's helped out the planning board quite a bit, a lot of information he gives and stuff. Yeah, if he wants to come in and explain, you know, what he would like to see from us and what the concern is, because then we can put it out there. It'd be great to have him, see him. You know, a lot of these initiatives are pushed by the state and the federal government. We really have no choice other than accept them. We're a small town in rural Massachusetts.
Yeah.
We don't have much say when it comes to some of these things.
Yes, sir.
You know, we're already doing what we can for solar development. You know, we got good bylaws in solar development. We've addressed wind energy with the windmills. You know, there has to be a market for these vehicle chargers for them to even be worth it. We tried putting vehicle chargers in our community, and nobody wanted them. And we couldn't put them anywhere. You know, we tried, you know, the first group of selectmen before us, we're gonna put them in the parking lot next to the park in the town center, and that was opposed by Parks, and because they didn't have any knowledge of it, nobody worked with them about it. So we looked at putting them in the parking lot here, and it would cost the town a lot of money to put them in. And then same thing with the little municipal parking lot across from the old town hall. We looked at doing that, but we would be responsible for upgrading the power inside the building, and then running a line either underneath the road or across the road somehow. We'd have to pay for that to get to the power to the solar, you know, vehicle chargers. And then we'd have to establish somebody that would be maintaining the account for this, because we'd have to create a credit card account so they could pay with them with their credit cards and charge. And then there was debate back and forth if you even charge. You know, would the town charge this, or would the town pay for them? You know, and pay for you so you could pull your car up, plug in, and fill up your car on the town's dime. And that wasn't really fair either. So it just got so much opposition and so much, they just like, we're done with it. You know, it wasn't something our community is ready for. Oh, and we offered it to the school too. We asked them if they wanted it, and they said, no thanks. So, and you figure the best place for it would be at the school. They would be the most likely to use it. They didn't want it either.
Yeah, they don't want random people pulling in, charging their cars, waiting for half an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, who'd want to do that?
I don't blame them. You know. But it's nice that people in the cities have these big ideas, but it doesn't always work for rural America. And we're a rural town, and what works in Boston or Springfield probably isn't gonna work in our small community. You know, we all own
Right.
SUVs and, you know, vehicles that we don't have to plug in to go down the road, you know, we face what the environment we have, you know, so. But yeah, it'd be
We'll
nice to
invite
hear
him.
from Tim,
Yeah,
so we'll invite him,
okay, sounds good.
just
That's
let
it.
Karen know and we'll throw him on the
I'll
agenda when
do
he's
it with
available.
Ka- I'll do it with Karen.
Anything else, sir?
That's it.
Do you have any correspondence?
No,
Comments and concerns? Anybody have any comments and concerns?
I do not.
I have two.
All right.
Someone in Facebook asked me if we could set up the Halloween date.
They already did.
You did?
Oh, for actually doing Halloween?
Yes.
Halloween night? Okay. We typically do that right on Halloween.
Just people are trying to plan.
Tuesday night.
It's Tuesday night?
And you wanna pick the time?
We usually go
Past
5:30 to 7?
7:30?
No, I thought it was 5:30 to 6:30, and then they have the parade down in West Brookfield. But I don't know if the fire department's still doing that.
Why would they?
I don't know. Adam hasn't said anything.
Get on him.
All right,
Ask him if he's doing the parade.
all right. I'll find out and report next week.
And ask if we need to be buying bags of candy for the parade to throw at the kids.
Okay.
So,
So it's a Tuesday
Rich doesn't
27?
mind buying a few hundred bags of candy at
No, no problem.
Tuesday
$30 a
28?
bag.
So is it gonna be Tuesday 28?
Full-size candy
Full-size
bars.
candy.
Tuesday, 31st. Halloween's 31st. October 31st.
So October 31st.
October
It's Tuesday
31st.
night.
So we're gonna do it that night?
Yep.
I will like just to reply to that lady that
Yeah,
we're
and then-
planning on doing on the 31st.
And then I'll let you know.
What did we do last year for parade?
I think it's a Sunday or something. And my other,
October 31st. Well, I had Halloween all day, so I didn't put the times in. I'm gonna have to take the day off.
and my other concern, in the intersection of Southbridge Road and Southbridge Road Extension, just after the Roger Farms, in that corner, there's a stop sign coming to town.
Mhm.
In that corner, there used to be a bump and a sign over there, and they took it out.
Because it kept getting ran over. And they
Yeah,
kept
now
trying to
I'm getting
replace it.
I'm getting run over by cars when I'm stopped, when I'm waiting there to pass, they just cut through there, and it's very
So there
dangerous.
used to be a speed bump?
Not a
No, it
speed
was a
bump, it
triangle.
was like an island,
Oh, yeah,
It was
yeah, I
an
know what you're
island
talking about.
and it kept
Yeah.
Yeah,
having.
Jeremy took that out.
cause it,
That was a pain in the neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People
I
keep on
understand the
going over it.
logistic on that, but now, when you're approaching there, people just going, cutting right in front of
They
the,
cut,
you know,
yeah.
in front, they're not doing the right turn, they're just going in, again, in the wrong direction.
They're cutting the corner as they turn left.
Okay.
So,
So it should be lined.
It is.
It
it
fine.
is, but, you
It
know,
is.
cars just,
People don't
cut
care.
just do the wrong turn, the wrong way. That's my concern. Many
So let's
times.
put a big wall right there.
Yeah.
No, he took it out because people kept on running over the sign, and it
Yeah.
was kinda, some of the bigger trucks had a hard time going through, and then when plowing, you know, you had to plow around it instead of just plow right past.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things that it was just, didn't make sense to have there. So when they resurfaced it, they took it out. But, you know, we could probably have Jerry, one of his guys, go over there and
Do some
make it a
enforcement.
spot for traffic enforcement.
Yeah, something like this.
We'll let
Through all this
everybody
time-
know that Derek,
Just pay for what line where the, pylon is.
well, there is lines, there's a line going there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a stop line and a yellow
Right.
line.
Yeah, so there's lines there.
But you could do something like you're suggesting, is just carve out a little, like triangle and just do cross hatches, meaning you shouldn't be driving in this spot kind of thing, I don't know. You could,
Yeah.
ask Jeremy if there's anything.
I just wanna start a conversation because
Yeah.
if I've been in that situation, I bet many other people have been in that situation.
Yeah.
They're approaching the intersection and then suddenly someone is almost going in front of you know, head to head.
Especially if you're turning left. If
Yes.
you're coming
Yeah.
from, and you're turning left, then you're closer to that,
Mhm.
that.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, I'd let Jeremy see if he can address it. Say the concern, maybe there's something he could design that's a little better for that.
Yeah, I
Put some
completely,
lines in there or
completely
something.
agree that for snow plowing and everything and design, that's a no-brainer, but it is actually, you know,
Yeah, because it used to be that little island and it used to say keep right. So,
staring your right, yeah, but
Actually,
now,
it's like keep flat.
I found many times
Huh?
mine,
Gotta be flat.
yeah, keep flat and run it over. Yeah, I think that's why he took it out of there. Because,
Mm-hmm. It's costing a ton.
all right. So yeah. Take a look
Okay.
at it. Good with that?
Yep.
The other thing, as far as comments and concerns, one of the other things I'd like to see is the town buy a couple more of those speed signs too.
Okay.
Because we should really have one on South Street.
The
as a
ones that are on the
permanent-
poles there?
Yeah.
As a permanent sign. And, you know, there's probably another couple other locations that we could address. But I see them as being pretty effective. You know, now that we don't give a maximum speed limit, you know, where people try to challenge it, they actually see it and it flashes and it says thank you, and, you know. I
They're
know
about 15.
Jerry was having some problems because when it would just keep on going up, people would see how fast they can go. So it was a challenge to them, but now people are actually slowing. And I've seen quite a bit of vehicles coming down, like 67, when you have that one there.
Yeah, that's
People
perfect.
People actually slow down because they see that flash now, and
Yeah,
Good.
so.
it's just
I've had a lot
awareness.
of seniors, over the years complain about that, going into the post office, almost being run over.
Yeah.
And so that's helping with coming into town. Is there a way of putting one, you know, on the other side?
And that's.
But, so, because the post office, the senior center is,
Well,
there's
there's
a
one
few
just
locations
down
we
by
should
the
put
senior
down.
center.
it's down by 60, coming the other way.
Coming, yeah.
But you know what I mean, like, you're coming into town, it's there, but it'd be nice to have them come this way, so they kind of would know,
yeah,
oh, I'm going a little
that
fast by the post
intersection with
office.
South Street is
Yeah.
crazy. When I drop
Yes.
out my daughter for dance,
Yes,
it's scary.
and the post office is
The
on
post
that
office
same-
is scary
Very
too.
scary, it is.
So I could think of at least 3,
Okay.
because I would put
probably-
2 on South Street going both directions.
Yeah, it's not good.
Because it doesn't help if you just go in one direction, people are slowing down, you get in
Both sides.
both sides, and then the other side, you know, right there in front of the post office, down in that area too. If we can put one going the other direction to let people know.
They're about 1,500 each.
1,500 each?
There was an accident right at the store, right? When I was away, I saw that there was a car just crash into that corner. What did the market?
There's a lot of accidents.
That happens once in a while.
Yeah, very common
Which
thing,
one are you
right?
referring to?
Gives it, put on the brakes.
If we can.
Right
yeah, if
after
we can
the
get
senior
people to
center.
slow down in the
Yeah,
area,
there was.
because
Yes,
people
there
do, you come from,
Well, you're going, if
You're
you're
going
coming up
pretty fast when
67,
you're
you're
coming
coming
off.
at 50.
yeah,
So you're coming into town at 50, and then that's why that's good right there, is it slows you down a little bit. But then you go through that little section, and you go back up to 45, and you know the 45's coming.
Mm.
So it's really hard to go 30 for a couple blocks.
And I do think they're really effective. You know, I've seen, I don't know, you're the one that really
started
brought
all
them to
this,
us and
yeah.
started it.
I know, it was.
good.
Yeah.
The other thing that would help by the post office is stick one of those cones.
Oh,
in the
yeah,
middle
for
of the road.
pedestrians? Yeah, just like the
Oh, they
chief
would
does.
run that
But
thing
they run it
over all the
over.
time.
Keep putting it out there. People do slow down because it narrows your visual.
It does.
You know, you gotta
But
just.
the problem with that is people are gonna hug the sides a little more.
And they're
And when
parked
people open up
cars.
their car doors, because it stops them, they're gonna run it over, or they're gonna hit the car door.
Well, then they can run the cone over, that's okay.
They get those ones that pop right back up.
Well, that would be, yeah.
Uh-huh.
You put it in the ground, so every time you're running it over, it just snaps right back up. So, but yeah, if we can, we'd probably
Okay.
put that on as a special, you know, see if we can get them. And then if anybody else thinks of any other spots that are a hot spot, then probably should use them. I think they're definitely more important around the school zones and right in the main centers of town to slow people down. The rural roads, you know, unfortunately, they're gonna go fast enough and they're gonna meet a tree. And it's sad to say, but if that's what they wanna do, we can't warn them not to go fast on windy roads. You know, we all see Douglas Road. Douglas Road, people are in accidents all the time, and that's a very windy road. And either you're going in the swamp, or you're going into a rock wall or something,
Yeah.
or a tree. But, yeah, I think that's all I got. Good,
Mhm.
good.
Very good.
All right. Anybody in public? Mr. Condrat?
Joe Conrad, Board of Health.
Very good.
It's been an interesting week.
Okay.
Currently, the three members of the Board of Health are all over the age of 60. I found out that I'm the oldest. This town has a code of conduct which has to be observed within the offices by the public. Yesterday morning, before I got here, there was an incident with an individual in the Board of Health office. He railed against my secretary, who's 5 months pregnant. And some of the language was improper. Belittling an employee of the town. No matter how stressed you are about your problem, you do not try to effect an answer by belittling them. If it happens again, police will be called and somebody will be going to jail.
So with that, if you have a situation like that, notify Mr. Ferrara immediately, and Mr. Ferrara will handle that resident. And if it does get out of hand and the police need to be called, definitely call the police and let them know that.
Well, does she know how to use
What
Red
does-
Dot?
I don't know, I'll talk to Jessica about it.
Yeah, make sure she knows about it.
I'll talk to her, yeah,
Yeah.
because it's on her
Yeah,
computer, right?
Should
it's
be.
on the computer screen.
Yep.
So all the town computers have red dot on them, so anytime an employee's in a situation where they feel something could be wrong, and they have it on their phone also, and you could explain it better.
So what it is a electronic emergency or panic button. You guys can have it on your phones. It's on the computers. So let's say I'm here with my computer working and somebody comes, and before I can notice that he's mad and he's coming at me and start the conversation before it escalates a lot, you click it. When you click it, it gives you 15 seconds to cancel it, just in case you hit it by mistake. At that moment, all police officers, all of us, all the other computers will say and pop, you know,
Board of Health.
Derek Bailey's at this location, it will show up on the map and everything, needs help. The dispatch in Rutland, on all their screens, it will pop over there too, and coordinates with the police and the fire, depending on the emergency. So it's a very effective way, it's a really good 911 shortcut, if you wanna have the police, you
In
know.
this way, she's not picking up the phone and trying to call somebody and maybe agitating them more. It's very discreet, she just hits it.
And you can type in what your emergency is. So if you want a police officer, you can say police. If you need an ambulance, you can say EMT. So-
If the situation allows, you can go with more details. But if the guy is getting so mad, you just click on it and somebody's gonna come.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
Mr.
very
Farrar,
effective.
Run downstairs.
Yeah.
Well, as I said, we have a code of conduct.
Yep.
And it has to be followed by the public, whether they like it or not. You have a problem, leave it outside on the road.
Everybody gotta be respectful to each other. We don't talk like that to anybody, we don't want anybody else. Our employees don't talk like that to anybody, and we would address that if that happened. And we don't expect the public to talk to any of us that way either. We're in a civilized society these days, and we can talk to each other and work things out civilly. But for those who don't want to abide by that and that code of conduct, you'll be asked to leave. If not, you'll be removed. So,
We had those papers, right?
yep,
Oh, yeah,
they're up.
yeah.
If we could just probably give Jessica the class on it, on Red Dot, make sure
Okay.
she knows about it and it's available. And I would say that for any new employees, give them all a refresher just in case, and let them know, you are perfectly able to push this if something's coming up and there's a problem, and we'll be there. So, all right, anything else, Mr. Conrad?
Well, the individual can be grateful that I was not in the office.
Again.
Don't take
you
matters
don't-
into your own
hand.
yeah, Don't do that because you make it worse. And you gotta remember, you're a representative of the town now, okay? So you also have to adhere to the code of conduct and lead by example. And my best thing that I tell everybody is when somebody's getting angry with you and speaking up, speak softer. Because it forces them to take their tone down.
Well, I've always been trained, even as a child, to defend one.
Absolutely, absolutely. But, you know, anger gets anger.
Well,
So,
I try not to get angry.
Control the
but I think I would
situation.
Put myself between two other people. And thinking of more than one people.
and let the police handle it.
Yeah.
You know, that's what they're here for, that's their job. And, you know, we're all getting older. You know, I can't fight the fights that I used to when I was a kid, you know? But even though I think I could take on Mike Tyson, I probably can't.
I don't know, he's kind of old.
So, anything else, sir? Are you good? And I apologize that happened in your office, and we'll make sure Jessica gets the proper training, how to handle a situation like that, because we don't want her to be in fear of anybody coming in to her office, and nobody else should be. So, thank you, sir. Anybody else have any comments? No? No comments, concerns? Anybody on Zoom?
There's no one else.
Nobody on Zoom, so they have no comments, concerns. All right, so moving on, next meeting is September 14th, 2023, and that is 6 p.m. also. I hope to see people there. We're always exciting. All right, and
Motion to adjourn. Second.
all in favor?
Richi Hacker, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye.
David Dufresne, aye. We are adjourned.